All right, welcome back to another episode of the Power Sports Memorabilia Show. I am your host, Matt Powers. Thank you again for joining me. Please visit the website, powersportsmemorabilia.com. Also, give me a follow over there on Instagram at Powers Autographs. We've been talking a lot about living players who I think are way undervalued. Guys like Willie Mays, Bill Russell. Go back and watch the episodes where I talk about what to buy on them and why I think they're so undervalued. And today's video is going to be around another guy just like that. And this player that comes in mind has a kind of a rare mystique about him. And that's hard to obtain in the sports world, okay? And he got this mainly because his career ended early, but there's a whole bunch of other reasons why I think this player has a special mystique about him and why you should be adding him into your collection. Four-time World Series champion, league MVP also, three-time Cy Young Award winner, pitched a perfect game, and he also threw 4 no-hitters and is a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, hopefully you guys can guess who I'm talking about right now, but if you need to jump on his Wikipedia page, you can get all this information too. If you haven't guessed it by now, I'm talking about Sandy Koufax. And I love Koufax. I think he is definitely a very undervalued collection or autograph to have in your collection. And let's talk about why I think he is undervalued and some types of items to consider for your collection. And then also some authentication to look for, because when you spend this amount of money on Sandy Koufax, you want to be making sure that you are getting a legit autograph. And as with anything I talk about on this show, just because I believe in a guy or I like a guy or I think a guy's undervalued doesn't mean you have to. It won't hurt my feelings if you don't like this pick here, okay? Only buy items for your collection and ones that appeal to you and fit in your budget, not just become some dummy on a YouTube channel tells you to do so, okay? So this is just food for thought for you. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, take what you want and leave the rest, all right? So going back to Koufax here, I'm surprised that he actually is still signing autographs, believe it or not. He just did one this year in 2022, which for a guy who's 86 years old is actually quite astounding. I don't know if he still signs spring training autographs anymore. You guys who chase autographs out there, let me know if he's still signing at spring training. You used to be able to get him down there. Not easy, but he definitely would sign them there. So let me know if you're still commenting on the spring training. All right, so first up here. Why undervalued? Okay, why is he a special player? Why should you have him in your collection? Well, Koufax is, as most of us know, but maybe some of us don't. Koufax is a cultural icon. Arguably the most famous Jewish athlete of all time. I can think of maybe Hank Greenberg, maybe a couple others that are up there, but I can't think of anybody that is as high up on the famous poll for a Jewish athlete as Sandy Koufax is right now. He sat out game 1 of the 1965 World Series because it fell on Yom Kippur, which is the holiest day of the year for Judaism. So that was what I understand, that was a big deal to a lot of Jewish people, that he took that day and sat it off there. It's a fasting day, and one day you spend a lot with prayer. So to them, that was a huge deal, okay? Anytime you're at the top of a cultural icon, especially in sports, you're going to be widely collected and widely revered, and that's what Koufax is. Also, his career ended early due to arm troubles, which I'd like to tell my kids that's why my baseball career ended early as a pitcher, like my arm troubles, or I just wasn't that good enough. But I played in college, for some of you guys don't know, and yeah, I had, going back to the arm troubles, my elbow, like Koufax, would always be on fire. I never want to go back to those days of pitching there. It was just too much heat on my elbow, man, but thank God I don't have to do that anymore. But so Koufax, should he not have had a elbow injury, probably would have had an even more historic career. At the age of 36, okay, in 1972, he became the youngest player ever elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. So that shows you how short his career was cut short. Koufax also played for an iconic franchise in the Dodgers, right? And he also played for them when they were in Brooklyn. So if you know anything about the Brooklyn Dodgers, a lot of people obviously grew up in New York in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. So watching Koufax play back in Brooklyn there, growing up in that era, Koufax was basically, I don't want to say he was the best New York athlete at that time, but he was one of the most popular New York athletes. So if you have someone who's in their, 70s right now and they were, growing up watching baseball, Koufax is kind of way up here. Like, he's the man. So again, I mentioned he's 86 years old. He's probably not going to be signing too many autographs in the future. I mean, he's not sitting down signing 2,000, 3,000 pieces here, okay? So again, he just did a recent one, which is actually really cool for a lot of collectors. I've seen a couple of different pieces come out there. Nice stuff. Always has a very nice autograph too. And that's another thing about Koufax. Just a really legible, solid autograph. Nice flair to it. A very good autograph. Sandy Koufax. You see what it says here. It's a nice full name autograph, which we all like to have. All right, so that's my spiel on why I think you should have Koufax in your collection. If you choose to have something in your collection, what should you collect on him? Well, with Koufax and with any of the older players, I love autographed baseballs, especially if you can find ones that have that are on like National League balls or any balls from that particular player's era. Of course, now they do just the standard Major League ball, which those are fine, okay, but it'd be nice to find one from the actual era. But with Koufax, anything with an inscription is going to be something that's going to definitely be a cool piece to have in your collection, but one that's going to definitely hold a bunch of value over time. If you get one right now with the HOF 72 inscription, those are running about $2,000 right now, so it's an expensive ball, but not that bad actually. You compare it to it like a legit Willie Mays baseball with a not a great HOF inscription, but sometimes he just writes HOF on there. Those are 3,000 plus. So, I mean, Mays is probably a little ahead of Koufax in my mind, but I still think that's a fair price for an HOF 72 ball right now. $2,000. I mean, when Koufax passes, I mean, those are going to be going up in value just because inscriptions are difficult to get on those guys that are just not signing a whole bunch now. You know, Mays and Koufax, those kind of guys, right? Mitchell and S are another great jerseys to have there. Those are generally signed on the front of the jersey. They have the white and the gray one. I prefer the white one. I just think it allows the autograph to pop a little bit more. He signs them kind of in the bottom of the jersey there, so not on the numbers. Again, they're signed on the front. Mitch and Us makes great baseball jerseys. The quality is just excellent. Nice heavy weight to it. So I would definitely be picking up one of those jerseys. They're actually not bad right now. I think I've seen the white ones for about $2,400. So I don't know. I think that's a fair price for Koufax for a guy who just doesn't sign on, and it's on a nice officially licensed jerseys. Photos out there. Again, I've talked about photos on this channel a lot. I'm not a huge guy about photos for my personal collection one, unless it's around a particular play or incident. However, Koufax has some really good ones out there around the no-hitters. And I'm not sure if they have one out there in the perfect game or not, but there's a great image out there of him holding the 4 baseballs up. That's a great one to pick up. They run about $1,000 right now for a 16x20. But they're just some really good quality photos. There's the one with the scoreboard in the background there during the no-hitter there. That's a great one as well. Nice black and white image. Again, just some really solid choices for Koufax photos. All right, let's talk about authentication. I want to make sure we're picking up a legit Koufax autograph. Of course, they're going to be JSA, PSA, and Beckett third-party authentications out there, okay? Those are where JSA, PSA, or Beckett rep says, yes, we've compared this Koufax autograph to a known Koufax autograph in our database here. We believe this to be an authentic autograph, okay? They're giving their opinion that it's an authentic autograph. With Koufax, you're going to be spending a ton of money on him, okay? $1,000+ on a quality autograph. I will be looking for a first-person COA. Okay? First person meaning that, hey, a representative was there from the company. They witnessed the autograph being signed. It's a 100% legit autograph. Some of those you're going to be looking for online authentics. Some of you guys aren't too familiar with them. A lot of Koufax stuff comes with their cert. So I would be picking up stuff with online authentics. That stuff is fine. There's also some nice upper deck items out there as well. And there's MLB authenticated, and of course Fanatics too, but all Fanatics Koufax items are going to be MLB authenticated also. So any one of those would be solid pickups. Upper Deck does have some really nice stuff for Koufax, and of course they always do a great job on the higher end stuff. So that's the authentication that I would be looking for when it comes to Sandy Koufax. So hopefully this helps you guys out there with Sandy. Again, he's getting up there in age. There's just not that much stuff out there. If you have the funds to pick something up and you believe in Koufax and you like Koufax, I would strongly suggest picking something up. And again, I sell this stuff, of course, because I believe in the guy, but you don't have to buy it from me. Buy it from somewhere else. Buy an item that you like, that fits in your budget. And I definitely think you cannot go wrong with a Sandy Koufax item. Again, don't forget to visit the website, powersportsmemorabilia.com. Also, give me a follow over there on Instagram at Powers Autographs. I will see you on the next episode.